When you observe a woman who has completely decoupled her emotional stability from a man's erratic behavior, you are looking at one of the most unpredictable forces in modern dating dynamics. Most men are completely accustomed to a predictable cycle of female pursuit, anxious checking, and emotional protests when they pull away or display inconsistency. The exact second a woman permanently drops this reactive script, she shatters his baseline expectations and fundamentally destabilizes his perceived control over the relationship. This total absence of emotional turbulence signals that she is no longer auditioning for his approval or auditing his daily movements. Her quiet neutrality introduces an unfamiliar psychological vacuum that forces him to question his own standing, transforming her from a predictable partner into an absolute enigma. The psychological danger of a detached woman stems directly from her complete liberation from the classic scarcity mindset that keeps most people trapped in toxic dynamics. When you operate from a position of absolute detachment, you stop viewing a man as an irreplaceable centerpiece of your existence and start viewing him merely as an optional addition. This structural shift in your internal framework instantly neutralizes his ability to use emotional breadcrumbing, gaslighting, or silent treatments as leverage against your peace of mind. Because your validation is entirely self-generated, his attempts to manipulate your emotional state simply bounce off an unshakable wall of cool indifference. This systematic immunity to psychological games leaves a manipulative man entirely stripped of his tactical playbook, exposing his deeper insecurities. A detached woman is exceptionally dangerous to a man's ego because she possesses the rare willingness to walk away instantly the moment a boundary is breached. She does not engage in long-winded arguments. She does not issue desperate ultimatums, and she never begs for basic respect or adjustments in behavior. Instead, she observes his poor choices with a cold, analytical precision and quietly recalculates her level of investment without uttering a single word of warning. This silent executive function means that her exit is always clean, definitive, and entirely devoid of the dramatic closures that men use to flatter their vanity. He is left realizing that his access to her life was a temporary privilege that he single-handedly forfeited through his own mediocrity. This behavioral shift completely reverses the traditional pursuit dynamic, forcing the man to experience a sudden and intense wave of cognitive dissonance. When you stop reacting to his distance with anxiety, his brain starts interpreting your sudden silence as a profound drop in his personal value. He begins to obsessively replay your recent interactions, searching for the exact moment he lost his emotional hold over your thoughts and daily routine. This uncomfortable internal friction drives him to initiate contact, offering sudden bursts of attention and validation in a desperate attempt to test if his leverage still exists. However, because your detachment is authentic rather than a calculated game, his frantic pursuit fails to elicit the validating emotional response his ego craves. Furthermore, a detached woman carries a distinct physical presence that commands immediate respect without her ever needing to demand it. You carry yourself with a calm, unhurried posture, your gaze remains steady, and your voice lacks the high-pitched urgency associated with emotional distress or validation seeking. This stoic consistency signals to his subconscious that your internal world is entirely secure and completely independent of his shifting moods or physical presence. He can no longer dictate the emotional climate of the room, which places him in a highly vulnerable, reactive position during your interactions. Your absolute composure forces him to monitor his own behavior carefully, knowing that any slip into disrespect will result in your permanent disappearance. Men who rely on passive-aggressive manipulation find themselves entirely paralyzed when confronting a woman who has mastered emotional independence. When a man attempts to punish you by withholding affection or delaying his responses, your complete lack of reaction turns his weapon directly back on his own mental peace. He is left sitting alone with his silent treatment, performing his toxic drama to an entirely empty theater while your daily life continues without a single stumble. This lack of feedback deflates his inflated sense of self-importance, making him realize that his absence causes you zero psychological discomfort or structural disruption. By refusing to chase him or demand an explanation, you force him to sit with the cold reality of his own childish behavior. The deep psychological danger here is that a detached woman holds a mirror up to a man's character, forcing him to face his own internal emptiness. When you remove your warm energy and supportive buffer from the relationship, you leave him entirely exposed to the natural consequences of his choices. He can no longer justify his neglect by painting you as the dramatic, needy, or unstable partner to his social circle or his family. Your quiet, unbothered withdrawal forces him to accept that he alone is the destructive variable that ruined a high-value connection. This realization introduces a lingering sense of profound regret that erodes his long-term confidence and disrupts his future romantic endeavors. When you master the art of detaching your focus, you instantly stop providing the cheap, unearned ego validation that emotionally unavailable men consume to feel powerful. Most men are used to receiving endless emotional labor, constant reassurance, and premium access without ever having to offer a real commitment in return. The moment you implement an unshakable emotional boundary, you cut off this free supply of psychological fuel, leaving his ego completely starved. This sudden deprivation forces a massive paradigm shift where he must either rise to your standard of integrity or exit your space entirely. This systematic refusal to settle for low-value treatment makes you a highly dangerous target for anyone looking to exploit your time. Society frequently pressures women to remain hyper-flexible, endlessly understanding, and highly patient with a man's lack of consistency or poor treatment. When you reject this societal programming and adopt a cold, pragmatic view of human behavior, you become entirely unpredictable to the average individual. You evaluate his worth strictly based on his current, real-time actions rather than his empty prose or the beautiful potential he tries to sell you. This clinical approach to dating ensures that your psychological resources are fiercely protected from the emotional vampires who thrive on slow boundary erosion. You become an active gatekeeper of your own peace, filtering out mediocrity with an icy efficiency that commands absolute authority. To develop this unshakable emotional independence and protect your peace, the Black Cat Playbook offers an advanced psychological strategy. This guide demonstrates exactly how to cultivate an authentic detachment, dismantle casual manipulation, and select a partner who respects your boundaries. You can access this full behavioral blueprint right now by checking the official link in the description down below. The true impact of your cold detachment often hits a man hardest during his quietest, most vulnerable moments of daily isolation. He will eventually encounter a stressful situation where he naturally expected your familiar warmth and supportive advice, only to meet a wall of absolute nothingness. This stark realization that he no longer possesses a key to your emotional world introduces a heavy sense of permanent loss. The contrast between your past dedication and your current, elegant indifference creates a profound psychological scar that remains in his mind for years. He learns too late that once a high-value woman detaches her heart, no amount of pleading can ever restore her original warmth. It is a well-documented behavioral phenomenon that human beings naturally place the highest value on assets that are completely unobtainable and scarce. When you were constantly available, trying to fix the cracks, and pleading for communication, your presence was taken for granted and treated as a guaranteed asset. The exact second you walk away and seal off all future access, your perceived value in his mind skyrockets because you have become completely rare. This sudden shift in perception causes him to retroactively appreciate everything he lost, driving him to make desperate, long overdue gestures of commitment. However, because your detachment is permanent, these frantic efforts are entirely useless, leaving him to mourn the premium access he carelessly threw away. Your absolute silence also prevents him from gathering any fresh psychological data regarding your current emotional vulnerabilities or your private life. When you argue, complain, or post cryptic messages online, you give him valuable insights that confirm he still holds a baseline level of control over your mood. Complete detachment means you stop feeding his curiosity entirely, leaving him completely in the dark about whether you are hurting, thriving, or indifferent. This lack of data creates a profound sense of anxiety in his mind, as his ego struggles to accept that he has been entirely erased from your memory. By denying him any information, you preserve your power and force him to remain an outsider looking into a locked room. True personal empowerment begins the moment you realize that you possess total authority over who receives access to your limited time and cognitive energy. You cannot control whether a man chooses to act with integrity or treat you with respect, but you retain absolute authority over how long you stick around. Walking away from a low-value dynamic is the ultimate exercise of this personal authority, representing a deliberate choice to prioritize your own future. This mental shift fundamentally alters how you navigate the romantic world, making you highly resistant to future attempts at casual manipulation. You stop asking for permission to be treated well and simply remove your presence from spaces where respect is absent. As time progresses and you continue to build a successful, highly fulfilling reality, the man you left behind will likely watch your journey from a distance. Seeing you thrive effortlessly without his validation, and without ever acknowledging his past empty promises, is the most potent form of personal victory you can achieve. It proves conclusively to his ego that his actions carried zero weight, and that he was merely a minor speed bump on your trajectory. Your continued growth and refusal to look back serve as a permanent testament to the fact that his attempt to minimize your value failed completely. You reclaim the role of the ultimate prize, leaving him to sit with the cheap rhetoric that cost him your presence. Many women choose to stay trapped in toxic dynamics because they suffer from a deep fear of temporary loneliness, believing that a mediocre partner is better than empty space. This scarcity mindset forces you to protect bad investments, blinding you to the destructive reality of what currently is. While you waste your valuable time and cognitive energy waiting for a manipulator to change, you block high-value opportunities from entering your reality. Choosing to invest in empty words is a high-opportunity cost decision that keeps your romantic life completely stagnant and dependent on his whim. Stepping away from his fictional landscape requires real courage, but it is the only path toward creating a real life built on genuine respect. Reclaiming ownership of your life allows you to completely protect your psychological resources from further erosion and build an unshakable future. You stop being a passive spectator reacting to his empty narratives and instead become the sole author of your own future steps, channeling your focus into your career, health, and genuine connections. If you found these specific behavioral insights valuable for your personal growth, make sure to subscribe to the channel right now and hit the like button. Click on the card on the screen right here to watch another psychological analysis, and I will see you in the next video.